This year started off with nothing but positive vibes. I'm motivated, I'm ready to go. It's January, I start pumping out the content, started testing a little bit of content ideas. Going along, February comes along, and in the middle of February, the worst had to happen. My MacBook Pro finally just gave up on me. And I know for a fact that I had to get a new laptop because after 3 years, Apple no longer supports it. They're not going to fix it. The warranty is already over, this, that, and the third. I was working on a 2012 15-inch MacBook Pro, and it was just that day. Now on this day, I wanted to cry. I honestly did, but I didn't, because unlike times before, this time around when this happened to me, I had money saved up in the bank for something else that I totally needed to save money for, but I still had money in the bank in order for me to buy a new computer. Because times before, when this happened to me, it would take me like a year and a half to get a new MacBook Pro, and it's just, all that time is just lost. I can't do no type of music because I was relying everything just on that laptop, because I couldn't even afford a backup or anything like that. Nobody around me that I work with music wise work on a Mac, so it was just over. But I remember that I had money in my savings that I was going to use for something else. So what I did was I bought an M1 Mac Studio, and I also, probably the very next week, I was pondering, and I just went ahead and I bought me the Sony a7 IV. Now the reason why I bought the Sony a7 IV, even though I already had a Sony camera, I have that a6400, which I am shooting on right now. I know that I wanted to step it up this year, and I wanted to correct mistakes from the past. And one big mistake from the past that I wish I've always done was shoot more music videos. So I needed a camera that can shoot 4K 60, because I know that I want to have all the B-roll shot in 4K 60 just in case I want to slow something down, chop something up. I want it in a higher frame rate so I can slow it down. So we shot all the performance shots in 24 frames per second, and then all the B-roll in 60 frames per second. And I went on B&H Photo, and I just looked and looked and looked. I already had a Sony a6400, so I wanted to stay in the Sony family, and the camera that I could afford was the Sony a7 IV. I was looking at the Sony a7S III, but that was just $1,000 more, and I really honestly did not have it. So I bought the a7 IV with the kit lens, and we were rocking and rolling from there. And during this whole process of me shooting these music videos, I had my business partner and homeboy, Sour Lyrics, as the cameraman, and he helped me out throughout this whole entire journey. My family supported me. They were down if I needed somebody to hold the camera. They were also down to help. Some friends were also down to help, and I really do appreciate it, because I had no help in the past, and I have a strong help now, especially with my family. My family see the vision, they see it's working, so everybody's in it, and we're moving forward, and we're just going for it. Because during the pandemic, everything just shut down. Right, like the previous few months before, I just dropped an album. I only shot one music video, but when everything shut down, I wasn't able to shoot another music video, and my career was pretty much done. But one day when this happened, I was like, I'm too motivated this year to just let that happen to me and just let it be over, and I'm coming back with vengeance. And that's exactly what we accomplished this year. A big leap forward in progress where I should have been 2-3 years ago. The first video we shot was Pain Away. I was going through my catalog, and I'm just looking through my catalog like, okay, I got this camera, I need to use it. So I started going through my catalog and just trying to figure out what songs can I possibly do right now at this moment, and that's easy to shoot, that's quick to shoot, because we have no budget. I had no budget. My budget is basically my paycheck at this point. So no budget. I need to go through and figure out and come up with a plan on what songs I wanted to do. And I'm going and I'm scrolling through and I'm listening through my catalog, and Pain Away came up. Pain Away is a song about a guy coming from work, like me. I work a regular 9 to 5, and just coming home, just getting in the door, sitting down, boom, that phone go off, you need to go back to work, do some double overtime, whoop-de-whoop. You know how it is, the regular everyday grind that is nobody wants to live. I needed the location, so to test this camera out, we shot this at Sour Lyric's house on his couch and just came up with a plan from there. So this is how the whole framework of all the next videos to come, how we started to formulate how I wanted my music videos to look and how we want to shoot it. During this whole entire process, I'm bringing props in. I knew I needed props. I needed to figure out what type of focal lengths I can use. What do I need to shoot in 60? What can I keep in 24 frames per second? That's not necessarily I'm about to slow down or whatever. And so what we came up with was shoot 3 different focal lengths, which was the 28, the 50, and the 70. So wide, medium, and tight. The wide gets the whole room. The 50 mil is the torso up, and the 70 mil is just tight on my face. And I also had a gimbal. I bought a gimbal, the DJI Ronin S3 mini S3, and we used that, and that's how that video got done. Just me shooting on the couch, me shooting on the floor, me shooting in the lazy boy, you know, lighting up the hookah, and just figuring out lighting. How much lighting do we actually need? Learning how to frame the shot, because I know that I would have to make it vertical eventually. I'm gonna have to chop up the music videos, make it vertical, that way I have multiple pieces coming from one piece of content, multiple pieces for social media that I can put on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever, just anywhere and everywhere, because vertical is really popular right now. So we had to figure all of that out in the first music video. And I haven't shot a music video since I was a little kid, like a teenager, like super young, like super young. So it was a learning experience. Me and Sour Lyrics, we worked back and forth and just try to figure it out, and like, okay, I like this, I don't like this, the gimbal swaying too much, this, that, and the third, and we just went from there. So Pain Away is a very good success, I'm going to say. Just first seeing the raw footage back on my computer and seeing the difference in the full frame versus the crop sensor and just the quality of the image, night and day for me. I was totally impressed and amazed by this camera, and I can't say nothing bad about the A7 IV. It's a workhorse basically. The next video we shot was God Bless the Dead. I knew I wanted to shoot God Bless the Dead, but I did not. I had absolutely no idea how I wanted to do it. And just from the title alone, I knew I wanted to keep the music video integrity to the art. I wanted to keep the art, the integrity of the art, because I want the music video is supposed to immerse you into the universe of the song, right? So I wanted to make sure that the backdrop for the music video actually matches the vibe of the song, what the song is talking about, this, that, and the third. So once again, no budget whatsoever. We just got the new camera and the lens. Previously just shot Pain Away, so we know it's possible and we can do it. Sour came up with help with me finding the location. Cause I'm like, yo, I need a cemetery. Cause Sour previously did one years ago in a cemetery, and I'm like, yo, I want to do this song in the cemetery, just walking through the cemetery. So that's how God Bless the Dead came about. We just went in there. I had 3 outfits, 3 shirts basically. I kept the same jeans, but 3 different shirts, bandana, walked through there. It was crazy. I was nervous to do it because I'm like, as soon as we got there, I'm like, should we do this? I don't feel right about this, but it's for the art and the integrity of the song and what this is supposed to represent. And Sour is just like, man, just come on, we just do it, and and live with the results. And if it's the right thing to do, we just gonna do it right now and just not think about how spooky and how eerie the vibe is about shooting in a cemetery. Because y'all know I'm religious and I ain't like, you know, don't disrespect the dead at all. But this song is praising the dead and standing up and standing on what the values are of the people that we have lost, especially me and my friends that I have lost and family members. It's of course the soldiers and everybody who's fought for this country as well. So that's what this song represented. So ran through the cemetery, just walking up and down, looking for shots, and we just took our time. We had all the time in the world. We just took our time and just looked for different shots, and we got it done. So God Bless the Dead was an experience in itself, say the least. I'm still a little weird about that one, but when I edited and put it together, it looked exactly like I wanted it to. The only mistake that I made when I shot this music video was too much of the shaking, because I wanted to have that hand motion, a little bit of the blur in the hand motion to give the energy, keep the energy up on the video. I wanted like certain shots to have that energy and wanted a little bit of motion. And I told Sour to like pan left and right a little bit with the gimbal, but keep me centered. But when I seen the footage as I'm editing it, it was too much, and I had to try to stabilize as much as the shots that I needed to actually stay focused and straight without the wobbling and the bending in the background. So that was a mistake, and it was a little too much, but it was a lesson learned. From here on out, we just kept everything on the gimbal. The hand shot, we know to only wobble just a little bit of motion. Make sure you move your body and more than don't just move the camera, because that was really the problem. He had his hand on the lens and he was shaking it like that instead of moving his body. So we learned a valuable lesson with this music video, and we move forward from there. After we shot God Bless the Dead, I want to say about a week later, because I shot about 3 of these back to back. So after God Bless the Dead, the next weekend was King of the Mountain. And for King of the Mountain, we went to Stone Mountain Park, and we just literally climbed the mountain. I had bought dress clothes a couple of days before, because King of the Mountain it's really a gospel song. It's my version of a gospel song mixed with rap, hip hop, and a little bit. The beat is Afro beat, but you know, it was more of an experimental Afro beat. You'll understand what I mean when you hear the drums. I'm just picked a certain type of vibe. I was going for a certain type of vibe with this song, because I didn't want it to just be the typical praising Jesus and super boring. It has a message, but I wanted to make sure that it had a little bit of movement, a little bit of more of an upbeat vibe to it. That way we have spirituality and we still have my normal energy that I bring to music, right? We just climbed up the mountain, and every different spot on the mountain, I am absolutely sweating. When I'm talking about I am sweating head to toe in these dress clothes in the middle of the summer, I'm sweating. People are walking by, they're laughing their ass off, because you know me, I had the boogie and dance, and you know, I had to make sure that the spirit was shown. Like, yo, we praising this king of this mountain. It was a cool vibe, especially at the top when it's like 100 people walking down, and we're right close to the top. People are laughing, they're pointing, they see the camera though, so I love and respect everybody that didn't just walk in front of me. One person did. I don't know what's wrong with this lady. She's super seeing the camera, but that just goes to show when you're shooting in public, you got to be careful of your surroundings, because you're gonna have people, traffic, people could just walk in front of the camera, mess up the shot, this, that, and the third. When you're working with no budget or a low budget, you don't have the money to pay for a set, it's just something you got to deal with. You might have to deal with rude people, see you working and trying to accomplish your goals and your dreams, and they just want to ruin the vibe and just slow down the production because when you're doing run and gun, it's literally run and gun, because you're not supposed to be doing this unless you have a permit. It's okay as long as you don't use a tripod. They really not going to give you a citation. But if a police officer wanted to be an asshole, from my understanding when I was researching this, They could, because it's like you don't have a license to actually do production. So when you're on the street and shooting your music videos, just be wary of your surroundings. Try to pick locations where it's not too much foot traffic, and you should be all right from there. Just get in, get out. It's literally run and gun, and that's exactly what that means. After we shot King of the Mountain, I believe it was maybe a week, the next weekend or the weekend after, we shot Breathe Life. Breathe Life is about embracing the fact that you're alive and letting your emotions go, feeling the vibrations of the earth, you know, that type of vibe. It's also an Afrobeat beat, right? What I did for this video, I already had a blue and white dashiki, but the other dashikis I wore in the music video, I bought those, and that was going to be the setup. We were just going to find spots and I wanted to wear the dashiki, and I'm looking for a beach, right? I'm Googling a beach near anywhere in Georgia near us. Cause I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, let's go to Miami. Let's just shoot in Miami. Tower's like, that's gonna be hard to do on a weekend, to shoot down there and shoot back. And I was like, yo, what about Myrtle Beach? He's like, that's kind of the same situation, even though Myrtle Beach is a little bit closer to Atlanta, it's not. So I started doing a Google search, found out that Lake Lanier has beaches. Well, that's what they claim at the time that I was thinking. I'm like, beaches at Lake Lanier? Now, I've been to Lake Lanier before, and if you know, you know, Lake Lanier is haunted. And so I know I didn't want to get in the water, but I definitely, if they got beaches, we were gonna shoot on the beaches, in and out, right? Because you know them vibes. The vibes of Lake Lanier, it's a no. Somebody always dying up there. Like every summer, somebody always died. It's always a couple people that die, that drown in the water. So I don't want to be even nowhere near the water. And everybody knows that that's a man-made lake that was made over a town that got burnt down. It's a whole story in its own. So anyways, we go to Lake Lanier and we just start walking. And I'm just seeing spots. People, it was a Sunday, so people are doing their whole church thing on the beach, getting baptized and everything. And luckily, they had multiple beaches and multiple spots that we were able to shoot at. I was able to stand on the rocks and dance and vibe a little bit. Lake Lanier was cool. But we walked hella far. I'm sorry, we walked a good, we got our exercise in that day. And I mean, we got our exercise that day. We got there as soon as they opened, probably a few minutes before, and just got it done. The first shot that I did not go so well. Keep in mind, my camera settings, I'm shooting everything in automatic mode and the lighting wasn't adjusting clear. It was like, for whatever reason, the first spot that we chose, my face was just completely dark. I don't know why. Now I know I'm black, but I mean, come on, like, come on now. I ain't that black. I mean, I'm black, but come on now. But it was like making it super black. So we went to anywhere that the sun shined. That's actually where we ended up shooting at. So lighting. Key to this was lighting. Another problem that I had with the shoot was that I'm shooting outdoors. I didn't think of this whatsoever at the time, but when I saw the footage, I knew I messed up. The video came out okay, but the video quality of it, I knew I messed up because I did not use an ND filter. When you're shooting outside, you're supposed to use an ND filter if you're shooting in direct sunlight or close to direct sunlight. Because as the day was going on, the sun is getting higher in the sky and it was just beaming. And man, so that video did not come out as good as it could have been if I had remembered to buy an ND filter for my lens. Because I don't have built-in filters on these cameras. So you gotta get one to screw on in the front of the lens. And that was the big mistake of that video. So take it from me, we're shooting in sunlight, ND filter, bro. Moving on to the next video that we shot. The next video that we shot was Dinero. I spent a whole check, bro. I spent my bank account to get this location. I'm looking for location. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do my next video. And I just so happened to be at work, I'm on Google because I had time in between working and doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Went on Google. I'm like, locations to film in Georgia, famous locations. Music videos were shot in Atlanta, and a website popped up called Peerspace. Never heard of this website before. So on Peerspace, you can rent out people's houses. You can rent out production studios per hour. Now, all the spots on Peerspace, just so that everybody is aware who wants to use Peerspace, says per hour, but if you look at the info, it's going to tell you what the minimum hours you can book. Most of them, it's a minimum of 2 hours for the most part that I saw, that I was looking through to see what spots I can get. And I found a bank vault. This guy has a bank vault in Atlanta, and it cost me my bank account to make sure that I can get 2 hours, which is okay. Like I said before, we're respecting the integrity of the art, and I went for it. Oh my goodness, trying to shoot a music video in 2 hours. You would think it was super easy, like, yeah, you can do that. But when you start noticing that the time is going by fast, ooh, I was in there sweating. Me and Sour, we're communicating fast. Like, I'm just, Sour said, if Sour's like, yo, just move this, do that, I'm not even questioning it. I'm not double checking what he's saying. I'm not overthinking it. Like, we was in there and we was going. Cause the format of the videos that we were shooting for the music videos was 3 to 4 shots. Every scene had a different outfit, shirt, or whole complete outfit, and get different focal lengths at different angles. And that's the whole music video, and everything else is just shot in 60p for B-roll. Timing, bro. Have a plan when you shoot your music videos. The problem with this video was the original location where we had planned it all out from just the pictures, making the storyboard just from the original pictures. That location we booked was not available on the day of the shoot, and we had to go to the second bank vault. Different location, did not know what it looked like, nothing. So we walked in there completely blind, but it worked out. We didn't panic. We just got there early, and just as soon as we got in there, we instantly shooting, right? So we walking in and out the bank vault. I'm throwing the money, right? I'm throwing the money. After the first shot, I realized I threw all of the money that I had, and it's all on the ground. I'm trying to pick it up, and I'm just seeing the time go by. Who knew it took that long to pick up some money off the ground? Oh my goodness. Woo! When I'm talking about I'm sweating after the first shot, like, all right, first shot was good and everything, but I'm like, yo, that took too long just to set up. And so have a plan and it'll work out. You just got to know that when things come up, you just adjust. Don't overthink it. Just keep it moving, because you're paying for this time. If you go over time, you get charged again. And I wanted to make sure that I finished at least 10 minutes early so I can clean up, you know, get all my gatherings and clean up and get out before the actual hours, the last hour is up. And we was able to do that barely. And I'm talking about barely, I mean barely. That's why the video looks the way it does. We have enough shots though. But if we had a little bit more time, I probably could have been a little bit more creative with it. But overall, I'm happy with the video. It got done, and time will test you. Alright, so the last video that we shot this year is 100 Acres. The reason why 100 Acres is the last video we shot this year is because I am out of money. And songs that I want to do at the moment. We have 2 more already sketched out and everything. It's just I'm out of money and I want to pay to be in a production set so I can respect the integrity of the art. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna come up with a way to do it for free, but me and Sour, we're gonna figure that out later. But for right now, the mission is almost complete of what I wanted to do for this year, and I knew I wanted to do 100 Acres, and I knew I wanted to do it in a mansion or in a big house, because Sour didn't think it was a mansion. It was a nice big house. We in Buckhead. 100 Acres, same situation at Dinero, but I was able to save up enough money, scratch up enough money to pay for the 3 hours. Reason why I'm saying time is because the first 4 music videos we did, we had all day. It was for the Frisky, and we had all day to walk around and pick our locations and figure it out. But on Dinero and on this one, we had to go to a production set, and we was under a time limit, and the budget was the budget. So we had to make do of what we had to do and get it done. Now keep in mind, as I'm shooting the music video, I'm also vlogging. I'm vlogging the experience, and I'm taking pictures, or trying to remember to take pictures, because that was a flaw that we had in our process. We didn't have enough time to always think about, hey, make sure you take a couple pictures so that we have pictures for the thumbnail and the behind the scenes for the gram. So on some shoots we kind of lacked on that, because it was more important to get the video done. If you can pay for time, get your shooting down pat, and then pay for the time that you need to get everything. So on each one of these shoots, I'm also shooting a vlog as well, so gotta account for that. And it was just, hey, we got it done though. But I went on Peerspace, saw this nice house in Buckhead. We rented the house. We got there early. I got there about 30 minutes early. The lady let us in, gave us the code to get in. We walked around, we took a quick lap, communicated what shots were what. We're super fanning out because this house is super nice. Yo, it caught the downstairs, and with the hot tub in the house, that caught us off guard. We was like, what is that noise? Walk to the back room, like, oh, it's a whole apartment down there. They got a hot tub on this side, laundry room, da 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 da. And I'm just like, dang, bro, this is the level we want to get to. 100 Acres is exactly what that is. 100 Acres is the goal. That's the mission in my life. 100 Acres, help my whole family out, build us up, build up wealth, generational wealth, so that we can pass it down and keep passing it down. Because passing wealth down for one generation, then losing it all is a waste, in my opinion. We got to be able to pass it down for generations on. So the goal is to do what I'm passionate in life and be able to accumulate enough wealth to pass it down to my future children and my nieces and my nephews, so that our last name can stay in the history books and we can do well and bring my family up. Because where we started and where we're at now, it's not too far from where we at. We started like rock bottom in poverty, and we slowly moving inching into middle class, but it's not, you feel what I'm saying? It's not where we want to be. We want to be able to live comfortable, because we always in survival mode, because every move we make counts. So 100 Acres is that grand vision. It's why I do music. Everything is explained in that song. You don't have to question why I do music, why I do anything in the arts, why I'm passionate about everything I do. It's the motivation. It's the motivation. It's all about the motivation. So when you hear that record, the reason why I'm in the video jumping around and I'm sweating and I'm throwing my hands up and I'm screaming at the camera for the music video, that's what that energy is for. I'm not playing no games when it comes to 100 Acres. 100 Acres, the only thing I struggled with was tying my tie. I blanked out trying to figure out how to tie a tie. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, yo, I tie a tie every day. Every other day, every weekend, every so often. Like, yo, I know how to tie a tie, but I'm switching in clothes and making sure that I don't make no mess and no bump nothing out of place and that, because I didn't want to touch nothing. You know me, y'all. If I didn't pay for it, I don't even want to touch it. This is how I am. Keep everything clean. So, being prepared, not going over budget, and just, hey, stick to the format. And for this video, because of the previous ones, everything we learned from the previous ones, we knew exactly how to shoot. You know, our 3 focal lengths at 3 different angles. We had more than enough lighting. It was well lit in the house, obviously, and we just moved. It wasn't even too much communicating. We was like, all right, I want this outfit here, this outfit here, this outfit downstairs, and boom. And so how we shot this was, we started with the backyard, get the wide in the backyard. Then we worked our way from the bottom floor in the blue, and then on the main level, on our way out, we shot in the pink. And I also shot, I believe I shot the white in the front of the house. And I think we shot that first. So we did front yard, backyard, downstairs and upstairs, and walked out. So the shots where I'm in the pink, that was literally the last scene, and I'm almost out of time because I paid for 3 hours. And I was like, it took 3 hours to shoot that music video. So even though you see the song in 3 minutes, like it's hours of work that goes behind that. So that just shows you that shooting music videos is not easy. It takes a very long time to get it done right because you got to check so many things, the lighting, the camera. Luckily I had extra batteries. I ran out of them. One battery died. I had 3 batteries. So I was able to just pop in, pop out, and keep shooting. It always keep shooting. When you're shooting a music video, always keep shooting. Keep the bloopers. That way you can make a behind the scenes vlog and have even more content for you to use and chop up for social media. So what I learned from 100 Acres was just keep shooting. Do not turn the camera off. Keep shooting. The camera never turned off. And I can say the A7 IV never overheated whatsoever. It was all good. And it came out to be a success. I'm very grateful and thankful for this experience. And 100 Acres, it's that mission statement. In conclusion, first I want to thank Sour Lyrics for being my cameraman. And everybody who stepped up, who wanted to step in just in case I couldn't reach Sour for a shoot and was going to step in and be the cameraman. I want to thank everybody. Just know you need a team in order to do this. To shoot content, to shoot music videos, to shoot anything. You can do a lot by yourself, but when it comes to having multiple pieces, multiple layers, complexity, and all of that, you cannot do this alone. You need people to check in on things. You need people to maybe hold the camera for you so you can get a more organic look to your video. You don't want to do everything on a tripod. There's nothing wrong with it, but that wasn't the style I was going for. I was going more for the more organic look. I used the gimbal to get the swaying so that the panning is nice and smooth, because we learned early on that, hey, doing that by hand, that don't pan out all the way if you're doing a little bit too much. Thank everybody. Be prepared. Always have a storyboard so that you know when you get on set what you're shooting, and keep on schedule. And if things go wrong, you just keep going on to the next and try to go back to whatever you miss. And be creative. This was a whole creative process under pressure. Obviously, we working under pressure, but you got to be able to perform under pressure to be a professional. I think we've grown from this experience, and next year, who knows? Bigger and better, that's for sure though. So I want to thank everybody. Hopefully you learned something from this video. If you have any questions, just shoot me a message, leave a comment, and I'll answer your questions. And until next time, we out.